gonna try to help y'all out today with some shit that I feel like a lot of people are struggling on. I feel like a lot of people don't understand the dynamics of the so-called dating game or relationships, whatever. A lot of y'all feel it's the people that there's no people good to date. And to a certain extent, that's true. But that's not the biggest issue. The biggest issue is not that there's not good women or men. It's not the biggest issue. The biggest issue is availability and so-called options that people have. That's the biggest issue. Like, you got everybody trying to talk to everybody. Especially as a man, I already understand that everybody's going to try to talk to this chick. So if you were smart as a man, unless that woman is, how can I put this shit? You have to compete, but if the woman likes you better than any other man, there's no competition. You don't have to compete. You only have to compete if she likes someone else better than you. Think about that. You only have to compete if the woman likes someone better than you. With that said, if I only have to compete if she likes someone better than me, how do I find a woman, or when I say I'm talking about you, me, even women vice versa. How do you find someone to where you don't have to compete? I hate to break it to a lot of y'all, man, but you're going to have to let life give you the right person. You can't go out and you could go out and stumble on them like, yeah, I met this person. But you can't go out and look like for instance, people at work try to holler at certain girls and shit. That might work. You might get some sex or something out of it, but 9 times out of 10, you can't go after what's right. You might get them, but that might not be the right one. And that's why a lot of people in relationships right now are in relationships with the wrong one, because they went after that, or they seen the red flags and they refused to say no. They refused to give up, whatever. They didn't let life just bring someone to them. They actually went and got the person. I'm not talking about you meet the person, you guys decide you want to try to get to know each other, then you go after it. That's different. That's a different going after it. I'm talking about literally, I'm just going to go try to find some pussy, dog. I'm going to holler at this girl at work, this and that. That's the problem. That type of shit, you usually don't get what you want, or even if you do get it, it turns out to be not what you want. You got to understand everybody's talking to everybody. As far as a female, the problem is they kind of want to wait for some guy to come along, and I get that shit, but you got to understand there's men out here just trying to fuck anybody, dog. So it's even worse for the female. At least for the male, you could just kind of sit back, let the woman come to you, because remember, if she like you, there is no competition. So you're not going to have to compete. You might have to show the woman you like her back, but you're not going to have to compete, man. If you have to compete, she don't like you. I'm trying to tell y'all. I don't know how much I got drilled in your heads. If you have to compete and try to prove to a woman I like you, and she don't really like you, because she going to make it so easy. The woman that really like you, out of all people, she gonna make it so easy, you ain't even gonna have to your mind ain't even gonna really have to fathom how do I compete to get her. Because she gonna be already making it known, dog. She already gonna be making it known, man. Ain't nobody got time to be trying to holler at a bunch of women that everybody else trying to holler at, man. Life is too short. We got goals and money to get. Fuck all that shit. Especially if you a man that has proven. This is what I mean. Pay attention, man. If you a man and you know I established myself better than 90% of men out in this world, why the fuck are you competing? If that woman can't see it, fuck her. You already put in the work to prove that you're better than 90% of men in the world. And even if you're a female watching, if you putting in work, been a boss, chick and all that, and you proving that you're better than most women in the world, why are you competing for somebody? It don't make sense. Number one, you don't have to compete for somebody who only likes you better than anybody else. That's number one. Number two, you've already put in the work competing by building yourself up. Now it's up to the people to see your product, not for you to see. Mercedes don't say, buy my shit. Mercedes say, I'm Mercedes. Buy this shit or not. Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. I'm Mercedes. Some of y'all might ask, well, how the hell is a woman going to know if you got this and you got that and this and that? The right, that's where the right one comes into play. The universe, God, it just happens. You do not have to go look. I promise you, you don't. When you go look, you're going to get some shit that you don't want. I'm telling you, dog. So for all y'all to say, well, I put in the work, I competed by building myself up as a man or a woman, whatever. Now, how do the people notice it? How's she gonna know that I'm way better choice than that guy? Because if she's meant to be in your life and to choose you and experience you, it's gonna happen. There's no way around it. It's gonna happen. Everything happens for a reason. You do not have to stand in no fucking line like a beta male bitch trying to compete for females. I mean, you can if you want to, but you should be putting that energy into other shit. You should be putting, this is why people have a problem dating. Everybody trying to talk to everybody. How the fuck you going to stand out or have a fair chance with someone if they talking to this one or this one or this one? You're not. The only way you will is if you're the number one. So you gonna put yourself out there like, this is me, and then she thinks that you're number one, cool. But if you feel like you gotta compete after you didn't let yourself be known, don't do it. Don't do it, dog, because you're not the number one. You're not the number one choice. Because there is no competition when you're the number one choice. When you are her number one choice, there is no competition. None. Zero. Nada. None. When you are his number one choice, he's not even thinking about no other girl. He not. Oh, old men cheat. No, they don't. If a man gets the right girl, I'm more than likely sure that man is not worried about no other females. You gotta be the one though, the one he not worried about no other women. Y'all go ahead and compete if you want to and think that you're better than this one and that one. And you might be, you might not be. But the problem is this, you could be way better than them and still not get chosen. For whatever reasons. For whatever reason they like this guy better or that girl better. And yet here you are way better. That shit don't fucking matter. The only thing that matters is what's meant to be. What's meant to be will come your way. Period. What's meant to be, you don't have, I ain't never had to go after a woman like that. When I talk about experiencing women for long periods of time, those women I ain't had to go after, they just boom right there. They just fell in my lap. However it happened, that's irrelevant, but it happened. I ain't had to go looking and compete and stand in line with a bunch of men I'm better than. What the fuck? And when I say better, I ain't trying to be cocky. I mean, I put in work to be better. Why the fuck would I stand in line to compete with somebody I already beat? That don't make sense. And plus, the women that are valuable can see value in men. Therefore, she's going to see that guy probably better than these guys. She going to see it. I ain't even got to say nothing. The work has already been put in. The work has already been put in. What the fuck you putting in more work for? You build yourself up to stand out from everybody else, and then you turn around and compete still? You already competed, motherfucker, and you won. Just like old girl, that text I showed y'all before. Your enemies hate you because you beat them. I already beat them. Now it's just child abuse at this point. So why the fuck would I stand in line and compete for some female? Why? There's no reason. None. Because the right woman is going to see that I'm better. I don't even have to say it. I don't have to be cocky, none of that. The right woman is going to see it. The wrong ones won't. So why the fuck would I try to convince the ones, aka the wrong ones, to see it? It don't make sense. The wrong ones will not see it. So why the fuck are you trying to convince them to see it? Think about it. And that's a little off topic, but the main reason why is because everybody talks to everybody. You'd be hard pressed to find somebody just talking to you. You couldn't pay me $1 million to believe that somebody's just talking to me. The only way I would believe that is if a woman was attached. If I know I have her attached. But just talking, we talking about dating shit. Nah, I'm not believing that. But I do believe if the woman thinks I'm better than all the other guys, I do believe she'll get them away. Because remember, there's no competition when you're the first choice. When you are her first choice, there's no competition. When you are his first choice, there's no competition. All that other shit, competition, is because you're not their first choice. That's why. And you're going to compete and you're not going to win. You're going to think, oh, I'm better than them. That don't matter. None of that matters. You can be the best ever over all of them. It don't matter. Competition, she still might pick somebody else, or he still might fuck somebody else, or whatever case you want to put it. This is why a lot of women confused, like, damn, I'm better than these hoes. Why the fuck they getting chosen? Well, I did everything for him, and he's still fucking other girls and shit. Everybody trying to fuck everybody, man. I can't do it. I've been tapped out of that shit a long time ago. That's how you want to know how I got a lot of money? That's how. I said, fuck that shit. I ain't about to do this shit. I ain't about to keep compete because I knew that there's really no winning. I knew even if I am better, that don't mean I'm going to get picked anyway. The right one will pick me, but the wrong ones ain't. So why the fuck am I doing all that? That's why I stopped doing it. All that dating and shit, and none of that. None of that. I'll date somebody that likes me and I like them. That's my dating. Not screening I ain't filtering nobody out to see this and that. I know what I like. Hopefully they know what they like, and then boom, that's what you go for. And you try to see what happens. All this other shit, I'm talking to this one and that one, you ain't gonna know what you want. Because you talking to so many different people. And you're not giving them a fair chance. This is why people who have less options are more clingy to someone versus people who got everybody and their mama at them. That's why that's why they find it hard to be happy with someone or pick somebody. Because they got everybody. Everybody on their grasp. Now, the problem with that is everybody pretty much got everybody in their grasp. It doesn't matter how good they look, how ugly they are, whatever. How broke they are, don't matter. Everybody got options around this motherfucker because social media. Let that shit sink in. Everybody. I don't give a fuck who they are. Everybody got options. That's why everybody's talking to everybody. So you go ahead and you go out there and you try to do this and that. I'm the high value man. Ain't nobody fucking with me type shit. You go ahead and go out there. The right one not gonna pick you. It don't matter. Or I said that wrong. The wrong ones are still not gonna pick you, but you don't know who's wrong because you're going out there trying to get them instead of letting them come to you. It's easier to let them come to you, and then you can filter out who's right and who's wrong. The universe it's undefeated. The Most High is undefeated. Universe God is undefeated. I ain't never, ever, ever had to go out and compete with a woman that I was in long-term relationship with. Never. The only ones that I had to do that with was ones that did not work out. The ones I had to try to win over and look at me, I'm better than him, those are the ones that don't work. It's the ones I just fell in my lap. Boom, where the fuck she come from? Them, the ones that the universe put there for a reason. Those are the ones that it might not have worked out with them, but they was pretty solid chicks to me. I ain't had to compete and all that bullshit for the most part. I ain't had to do none of that headache shit. Only when you try to show them that you like them or try to compete and all that. That's the only time I had issues, man. And that's what I'm telling y'all, man. You ain't got to do shit, but just be you and let life present whoever's meant to be in your life at that point. It's going to happen when it's supposed to happen. It's going to be who it's supposed to be. Ain't no way around it. Ain't no way around it, bro. So why y'all wasting all this damn energy and time and shit trying to convince motherfuckers to like you and shit when it's already basically written? If you want to put it in a different term, it's already written. It's already written. If I'm talking to somebody right now and it don't work, it's pretty much already written. Maybe I can have a influence on why it works or not, but I don't think so. I kind of still feel that shit happens for reasons. It's going to work or it's not. I'm about to eat. Fuck that. I'm gone, y'all.